And welcome back. It's now time for your lunchtime sports. To Birmingham, England we go, where Jamaica's #1 men's squash player Chris Binney made progress to the round of 32 at the Commonwealth Games, which got underway today. Now, Binney brushed aside Ghanaian Evans Ayi 3-0. Meanwhile, Jamaica's men's rugby sevens team, well, they were humbled 62-0 by Australia in Pool D action. And Jamaica's next opponent, Kenya, well, they beat Uganda 27-14. Now, none of the country's swimmers made progress to the semi-final round of their respective events, while the country's mixed badminton team lost 2-3 to South Africa in their encounter. And Jamaica's lawn bowls pair of Robert Simpson and Mervyn Edwards was beaten 11-12 by Norfolk Island. Later on today, triathlete Philip McCarthy will also be in competition. The Sunshine Girls are now taking on Wales. And Jamaica could be the site of the netball competition for the 2030 Commonwealth Games, which has received a bid from Hamilton in Canada to be the host city for that edition of the Games. The team involved in Hamilton's bid for the 2030 Games, 100 years after the city created and hosted the inaugural event, has had a strongly positive reaction from the Commonwealth Games Federation executive members to its plans to co-host with other nations. Now, having drawn criticism for not including shooting in its failed proposed bid for the 2026 Games, which did not ultimately gain support from the Canadian government, the Hamilton bid team has laid out plans to outsource shooting to Gibraltar and netball to Jamaica for their 2030 bid. In April this year, the Commonwealth Games Federation awarded the 2026 Games to Victoria in Australia after federal support for a Hamilton 2026 bid had floundered, reportedly because of the need to prioritize support for Toronto as co-host of the 2026 FIFA World Cup. Now, chasing 191 for victory, the West Indies were 74 for 4 at sports time against India in the opening international T20 international at the Brian Lara Stadium in Trinidad. Shamar Brooks has the top scored so far with 20. Now, Kyle Mayers made 15 and Jason Holder went without scoring. Earlier, centre-back India posted 190 for 6, and they were led by captain Rohit Sharma, who made 64. Dinesh Karthik also chipped in with 41, while Surya Kumar Yadav contributed 24. Alzari Joseph took 2 for 46 for the West Indies. And staying on cricket, having not played since the T20 World Cup in November, Jamaica's Chris Gayle will make his long-awaited return to cricket with the St. Kitts and Nevis Patriots for the inaugural staging of the 60 next month. Gayle, who did not make himself available for the Caribbean Premier League draft, will play alongside exciting Trinidadian opener Evan Lewis and all-rounder Dwayne Bravo. The squads for the August 24 to 28 competition were confirmed on Thursday, as the 6 teams will use the competition as a warm-up for the CPL, which runs from August 31 to September 30. Now, the first edition of the 60 will see men's and women's teams compete in a new 60-ball tournament. And that is Stumps, and I am Jermaine Brown. Shane, it's back to you.
Thanks, Jermaine. And that's the Midday News. I'm Shane Masters. Join us at 7 for Primetime News. On behalf of the news, sports, and production teams, good afternoon.